the South African Oracle user group, and thanks for attending today's session where our guest speaker, who is an Oracle ace, Mir Sayeed Hassan, will be demonstrating Oracle Enterprise Manager 13C new features. We thank Mir Sayeed Hassan for providing us 1 hour of his time to present to the South African Oracle user group. The recording will be available on our website on Monday. So if you want to view the replay or you want to share the replay, you're welcome to go to our website. Just to give you some formalities that will allow the last 10 minutes for questions and answers. One of my colleague, Rehan, will run the questions and answers for Mir. And thank you very much for joining. This is our last session for the year. Can you believe it? For the year 2021. We will hopefully start sessions again when we're back from our holidays in February. So please do enjoy it and hope to see you guys all next year again. So Mir, all over through to you.
Hello, everyone. Very good morning, very good afternoon, and good evening for those who are listening or watching across the globe. Well, first, I'd like to thank Mr. Ahmed Jasset, who has given me an opportunity to take the sessions with an Oracle database topic, which is OEM, Oracle Enterprise Manager of new features. So let me proceed with my introductions, and then we will have some slides which I wanted to share it across with you. Later on, we will jump on to the live demonstrations of the Oracle Enterprise Manager. So can I share the screen, Mr. Ahmed Jasset?
Yes, you can share the screen.
You guys can see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so the topic which I'm going to discuss today is Oracle Enterprise Manager, OEM, new feature, and its enhancements. So let's proceed with that. A brief about me, myself, Mr. Mir Sayeed Hassan, a self-motivated and result-oriented professional with a 10+ year of an IT industry experiences as an Oracle DBA. I'm an Oracle S, an Oracle certified professional from the various versions of the Oracle, such as Oracle 9i, 10g, 11g, and 12c, and a fair exposures in various Oracle database production service and also consulting services across the globe. I maintain a prominent blog where you can see my blog as www.mirsayeedhassan.com, where this blog involves the sharing and knowledge based on the real-time experiences, on the best practices, on the Oracle enhancements onto the database activities, also the Oracle community forums across the globe. So I'm not able to see myself over here.
We can see
you guys see me?
Can see your screen, but we can't see you. But it's fine. You can continue.
Okay, that's fine. Fine, guys. So before I proceed with the Oracle Enterprise Manager, so let me just give you a brief introductions of the Oracle Enterprise Manager, what Enterprise Manager is and how does it comes into picture, and what are the benefits and what are the new features which has been enhanced onto the Oracle Enterprise Manager. So as you know very well about the Oracle Enterprise Manager, Oracle Enterprise Manager is a tool which is basically it uses for the monitoring purpose. You know, before the 12c, okay, before the OEM comes into picture. So there was a traditional method we used to monitor our databases, such as scripting in each and every databases, and it was much complicated. Then Oracle came into picture, and it overcomes with this solution. The solution is an Oracle Enterprise Manager. So this Oracle Enterprise Manager is the best method where we can monitor the various databases across the globe, across the your platform. In case even if you have around 500 databases, and those 500 databases can be monitored in a single platform, that is OEM, and all you can consolidate it into one platform. And yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, we can hear you. Sorry, there was just some people that joined and never put themselves on mute. We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So it is a heterogeneous platform. Heterogeneous databases can be monitored into an Oracle Enterprise Manager, and also we can configure the various vendors of the into an OEM, and it could be an SQL Server, Fusion middleware, or it could be anything. And by using the Oracle Enterprise Manager, so even you can monitor the host monitoring, that is the like OS level monitoring purpose also can be monitored. And so this monitoring is very much useful for generating the report across the OEM itself. And also this enterprise manager will be useful uh, in a regular daily basis activities, and you can also monitor your databases, like setting alert notifications onto the your own emails. So it is not necessary where you have to open each and every individual databases. Then more monitoring is very much complexity in the previous versions. Now we have this enterprise manager, which makes much more easier and has a lot of other features on it. So in 13.5, so there are some new features which has been enhanced onto this. So I have just some of the Oracle slides over here which have been which is shown here. So let me just give the brief about this so that we can proceed further for the demonstrations. So in this, as you can see here, Enterprise Manager prerequisites kits, which is consolidated the repository databases check, that will be check. And the prerequisites checks results, it will be in the form of the HTML format. So this prerequisites checks will be pop up when you're trying to install the Enterprise Manager of 13.5. You can create the HTML format output, and then you can save it, and later on you can monitor what all the prerequisites which has to be configured. And there is another feature which has been added over here is an auto fix, which is an auto fix feature. In case if some of the resources which is up to the mark, and there are some of the resources which has been assigned to the server, some recommendations will be auto fix. It will be done by automatically by the Oracle itself. If you just click onto the auto fix while installation process. And there is a standalone server executions that will be again onto the installation process. An optimized install and upgrade process will be done onto this, which has been done onto the new features of the Oracle 13.5, and reduce the footprint of our any of the installations separately. In case so in previous versions where we have some complexity to not much complexity, there are some new features which has been added over here that is included into this new features. And repository databases of 19C repository databases has already been set up into uh, in 13.5 version. There is a template which is of the repository database template, which is available onto this installation itself. And then we have the zero downtime patching. Okay, so there is less patching onto this. Less is it's a very closer to zero downtime. So the patching which can be involved on this. And there are the other two hard coding security which has been involved over here. So that is of TLS v1.2 and one-way and a two-way SSL configurations that has been configured, and it has been one of the best, one of the new features which has included onto the 13.5 version. Let me just give you the brief about the lifetime of the support policies. Okay, so as an enterprise manager, why the Oracle Enterprise Manager has been upgraded? Why we can't we use it the version which we had it of 12.1.0.5? So this 12.0.1.5 is will not be supported. The version will be there, but the support will not be there, and it is an extended until only 2019. So after that, there is a version which is of 13.2.0.2 and 13.3.0.2 and 13.4.0.4. So until 13.4.0.4, this is valid, the Oracle support. Those who are having the license of the Oracle, so those who are using the license of the Oracle, which can be supported until 2022. So after that, there is a no support, and there is a no the release patch, or there is no bundle patch which will be released from the Oracle for this existing version. So to overcome all this, there is an Enterprise Manager 13.5, which is the very much benefitable for those users who are looking out for a long time support. So this has a support until 2026. 2026 is again, it's a long journey. This 13.5 which is included over here. And now latest on October 3rd, there is one patch which has been released, that is 13.5.0.1. So there are some bug fixes which has been included into that patch, and that patch has already been released, and we started applying onto our production servers. So here is a brief about the upgrade. How do we upgrade the path directly to the 13.5? Can we do that? Yes, there is a possibilities where we can do that. So in case if you are using the Enterprise Manager as the 12.1.0.5 versions, okay. So first, there is a two method. You cannot directly jump on to 13.5. So you have to have upgrade that into 13.3 and then followed by upgrade into 13.5. So there is a two method where it is on the pre-version of which is the lesser than 13.3 version of all the Oracle Enterprise Manager has to be updated into the two methods. And there is a one which is a direct upgrade path, which is of 30. If your Enterprise Manager is of 13.3 or 13.4, so directly you can upgrade onto 13.5 version. So without upgrading onto the two methods, there is only one method, direct method, where you can apply all the 13.3 to 13.5 versions. This is the where you can follow the upgrade process. And there is another feature which has been involved on to this 13.5 version. So whenever you want to apply any of the plugins, okay. So basically in the previous versions we do it separately, or then we upgrade that separate the patches, any separate plugins. So now you consider that you have any Oracle Golden Gate patch which you need to apply it on it. First, you need to download that the patch from the OTM, and then you can assign that same patch while doing the upgrade itself. So here it reduces the time, as well as it reduces the lot of efforts from the DBAs, where it's not necessary for you to upgrade on different methods, like the two method operations. Okay, so while upgrading the Enterprise Manager itself, you can assign the patch, you can assign the plugins, and then you can able to configure on it. Next is we have a patching. Patching is also when you see that here is 90% of the reductions onto the 13.5. So of course there is a lot of things which has been enhanced onto the new features. Okay, so when it comes to the patching, so you're not going to patch with the individual agents or something as such. Once if you patch onto the one OMS, so it is going to apply for all the the agents which is applied onto the servers. Okay, so this is it's reduces a lot of time, and it's one of the best the features which has been enhanced onto the 13.5 version. So optimizing of EU patch while upgrading, and it is also there are some prioritized and parallelized jobs also can be assigned onto this, and there is some flexibility options which has been applied on this, as well as there are some self-monitoring and diagnostic tool. So so self-monitoring and diagnostic tool is what where you are getting the alert notifications onto your database health. You know. It could be in various reasons, so it is not necessary where you have to check on to the every servers, and then once if you get into the alert on to that specific server, then you'll directly log into the server and analyze it and debug on it and try to resolve that the issues. And the next is BI Publisher. BI Publisher is removed from the 13.5. Why the BI Publisher is removed? Because this BI Publisher, which was using for the reporting purpose onto the existing enterprise version. So even until that 13.4, there was the BI publisher was exist. So now there is another method which has been applied over here as an Oracle OEM, which is one of Oracle Analytic Server QA OAS. Okay, so this particular server which is need to configure separately, and then which can be used for the monitoring purpose. And you will not be able to see on while installation of Enterprise Manager of 13.C. So the BI Publisher is completely removed. And next is OEM Dashboard. OEM Dashboard has come into a drastic change in the previous version to these versions. You can manage your OEM dashboard manually. So you can able to configure by custom configuration. Okay, and there are a lot of the enhancements onto a UI which is onto 13.5. There is one thing which is a REST API for the management operations that has been involved over here, and there's something which is of an mobile app access, mobile application access, so that you can able to configure your mobile applications onto your EM, and whereas you can get the notifications alert, and you can manage your dashboard by using the mobile app access. So this is the one of the other features which has been involved. And there is a Grafana apps dashboard also been involved on this OEM dashboard, where this Grafana app dashboard is basically which is used onto the WebLogic server as well as onto any of the JVM performance reports. The OEM Grafana apps also will be involved on our OEM dashboard. And the next thing is EM federations, whereas here you will have the access to the every single point of tool which can be applied over here, and you can also customize your dashboard as per your requirement in your organization. Okay. This is the brief about the few new features, and there are some enhancements which has come into picture of the Oracle Enterprise Manager 13.5. So can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. Okay, so I think again I have to go back to the sharing now, whereas I have to share the server of the enterprise manager, which has already been. I have one of the test server which has been configured and which is used for the monitoring purpose. Okay, and that I will just have a look on it. This is of my Oracle Enterprise Manager of a 13.5 server, which has been already configured into one of our test environment. So let me just check the. So as you can see here, when I show the status of the Oracle OMS, okay, Oracle Management Service. So here, as you can see here, you can just see that the web tar is up, and the Oracle Management Server is up, and the JVMD engine is up. Here you will not see the feature which is of BI. So here itself you will notice that the BI version has been, the BI publisher has been removed. Let me go to the. This is the main page of the Oracle Enterprise Manager, where when you try to log in on it, you always have to log in with the sys user, sysman user.
It's red. It's orange. It's green.
So you guys can see my screen?
Yes, we can, thanks.
Yes, we can. You can go. Sorry, Mir, you're speaking on mute. Sorry, Mir, you're speaking on mute. Hello, Mir. Sayeed, you're speaking on mute. Hello, Mir. You're speaking on mute.
Ahmad, you want to send a message? Maybe you'll be able to read the message in the Teams meeting.
Oh, there we go. He's on. I don't mean.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there might be some click which has been. I'm sorry for that. Okay. Fine. So this is the homepage of the Oracle Enterprise Manager of 13.5. Whereas here you can see there are some databases which has been configured over here for some testing purpose. There are some two databases which I have already configured over here onto this OEM. And you can see that here you can identify the which particular version of the which has been configured here. So as you can see, that is 11.204 and 18.3 database. Okay, so there is one thing in this the OEM 13.5. Even though if you have 13.5 databases, okay, your base of the installation should be 19C, okay, and where you cannot configure the Oracle Enterprise Manager with 11G or 12C database or 12C database repository. Always you need to have the 19C databases when you wanted to configure the Oracle Enterprise Manager of 13.5. Okay, so here, as you can see, we can add the previous version of the databases. So example, we can add the 11G databases, we can add 12C databases, we can add 18C and 19C databases. All that will be supported. Even the pre-version of the Oracle 19C, the agents will be supported. Okay, so here I have just configured the two servers, which is of one is of 11G and one is of 18C server. And here you can verify the here I'm connecting to the database of 11G, where you can see some of the features which has already been deployed over here. And as you can see here, there are the features which has been involved onto the GUI view is different when it compares to your 13.4 or your 13.3 or 13.2. The completely UI has been changed here. Okay. This is the one where this is the method where you can monitor it, the queries, and you can analyze it what exactly and how it is. This is the query which has been run onto this particular server. So I'll not move on to the performance tuning, which we need to analyze and all that. So this is the where the GI method which shows onto the new features of the Enterprise Manager. And also there are some other new features which is over here. I could able to see this is the main the enterprise summary of a dashboard, where you can monitor the various methods over here. In case if you wanted to go to the host configurations, okay, you can also check the host configurations which has been set up, and the resources which has all located on this particular server. This is the utilization of the CPU and memory utilizations, and it's all related to the host informations, which is being viewed over here. So whereas in the previous we have viewed as the database, the GUI method, GUI, and here you will see that as the OS method, OS related monitoring purpose. So you can monitor the OS related issues here from here. So I would like to apply a patch on one of the server, but unfortunately, I've not downloaded the patch where the database, which is the same version of the last version of this is 13.55. So I have not applied the 13.5.0.1 patch. Okay, so hopefully I will have a separate session or separate things which can be included on the patch installation and other setups. Here you can see again what are the agents which has already been set up on this particular server. As you can see on the left hand side, so there is a cloud over here and there is a databases. Okay, so currently there are the two databases which has already been set up here, and there are the two pluggable databases. Pluggable databases is which has been configured onto an 12c database. Okay, so this pluggable database is which is involved in which is under the 18c databases, and there are something which you can able to monitor the group system services. So this is currently just a small the databases which has been configured here, and this does not have any support services onto the enterprise manager where I can show the other there are the other features on it. Okay. Um, So here monitoring templates where you can able to create your own template. So example like and the server has a less RAM. So I'm sorry for that delay. There's a here, whereas you're trying to create the template, okay, template for the customizing the error alert notifications. Okay, so here you can set the which particular databases you need to configure. That you can choose it here from the target. Here I'll be selecting the database instance. I'm selecting as the Oracle 18c. I'm sorry for this slow here you can mention as an Aura 18C. Then you'll come to that matrix threshold. Whereas in the matrix threshold, okay, so we have the various the options which you can able to include in our notification method. First is, as you can see, there is an alert logs. Okay, so in case if your RK logs or hang or something, then you will get an alert, or you get the notifications onto your email. Immediately you will try to look into it and resolve it. Similarly, the data block any corruptions which has occurred on your database, so you will get an alert by using this such an Oracle error itself, or error. By using this, you can able to identify your database and try to resolve on it. In this case, so there are many things which is not much useful over here, and there are many things which is useful too, and which you need to set based on your requirement. So, example, you're setting your area should be the warning should be around 85%, and my critical should be 90%. Okay, so in every 15 minutes you get an email alert on your server, so that you can able to look into it and resolve that issues. And there are the other important things which you can able to mention over here as table space management. That is the storage and memory usage. Memory usage also you can able to mention in case if you have any of the threshold to be set over here. Therefore, this is based on your the requirement. It is not something as everything you need to enable it and get the alert notifications, and it is not a best practice too. So you'll be getting the thousands of emails, and you will be completely miss up with the things which is required for you to configure. Just trying to find out that. Yeah, this is also very important, in case if your database is into a different state. Okay, so you consider your database of a primary database has been shut down. You will not be aware of it. So if you try to configure this, and you can able to get the alert and try to resolve it at the earliest. There are a hell lot of features. There are many features. There are so many features which has been involved over here. And as I told you, it is all based on your the requirement and of your configurations, which is onto your server. Okay, so so to enable this, you just need to click on your so if you there is a slow on this my server due to this the test environment. Okay, so I may not be able to show my production server because of the security reasons, where we have the multiple databases has been configured over there. And this is the test server which has an issues on my the same process. So here there are some new features also which has been involved. If you just look into the the monitoring templates. Okay, under the matrices, there are some features which has been involved, which you can able to set onto the servers. Same process which you have to follow. And then example, I'll just give something over here. I'll select the target. So here you can monitor the agents. Okay, in case if you wanted to monitor the specific agents, you can manage here. And also if you wanted to manage any of the cloud services which you already have on your servers, you can manage. So each and every services which you can able to set the threshold based on your requirement. For hosting, for host also you can able to set the thresholds. And for your pluggable databases, as you can see, there are two pluggable databases which has an issue on it. We can set that particular threshold on it. So where I was here onto the Oracle Enterprise Manager of Oracle NetInc. This is due to my less resources on my server, so there is a delay on it. Otherwise, so on your real production servers, you'll not have any difficulties if your server has sufficient enough of the RAM and CPU and all that. So again, I'm finding some issues onto the server, okay, just because of the resources is not much up to the mark, okay. So the rest things is the GI method has been changed, and there are the other features which is the applying the patch online. That is also you can apply the patch to the existing database servers. And here's so this is the host information. Again, if you wanted to export this particular host information, you can export it, and you can get that into the your Excel format. So here, as I've done it before, in below, as you can see. Therefore, there is a delay on the server, so I'm not able to do much on this due to the delay resources on it. So I think it's better if I can stop this and not waste of your time, and so that in case if you guys have any questions, so that we can just go through the question and answer sessions. And yeah, you guys can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, please you can just raise your questions. I'll be able to answer it, because I could not able to do much onto my test server because there was a very less resources on it, and I'm sorry for that.
Hi, Mira. This is Muhammad. It was really brilliant session. Thank you so much. And in one of your prerequisite in the first slide, you mentioned that autonomous database can be used as a repository database. Can we use autonomous database? Is it certified?
Yes, it is certified. You can use it. You can configure it.
Okay. So yeah, everything will be taken care by in terms of autonomous database. Everything will be support. Entire DBA support will be taken care by Oracle. So in case if we use it, so will there be any complication when we manage OEM?
So it is again, it is based on your the client's requirement, as well as onto your the setup of the autonomous database onto the enterprise manager. So there will be a dedicated the service will be provided from the Oracle, which is called as the Puma service. Okay, so this Puma service will take care of all your services.
Okay.
Which is going to be deployed onto the enterprise manager.
Okay.
Hi, Sayeed. It's Dimitri.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Victor. Please go ahead.
Just a question about the patching. Is there a minimum target database version to achieve that near zero downtime patching?
Downtime patching is which is applied on the versions which is of 19C.
So only target databases of 19C and higher, obviously.
There's not much as which is of completely onto an 19C version of the patches can be applied on live without any zero downtime. That's a zero downtime onto the 13.5.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Hello, Meet. Am I audible?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Mir, related to any long running issue, means long running request is there. Suppose in actually I'm Oracle Apps DBA, so I'm asking this question the perspective of Oracle Apps DBA performance tuning part. So if any request is long running, so in that how can we make use of OEM in that?
So in this case, if you wanted to use the OEM first is it gives you an alert notifications if there is any services which is running on the database, right? And there are some, it is for long running queries or any performance tuning related issues, first of all, you need to diagnostic what is that current issues which is occurring. So there is a various reasons where the performance of the database might go down, or the query which is not optimized and which is not currently running up to the mark. Okay, so it is based on your the analysis of the query has to be done from the DBA side. So the OEM will alert and give you the where you can easily monitor it by using the GUI method. Where what exactly and how what are the example, if you try to run a query on your on any applications runs a query on a database. Okay, so in this case, if the query is running for a long time, you need to monitor it, and where EM is the best tool to monitor this the complete operations.
Okay, thank you, Mir. And one more
Easily you
question.
can analyze it. Easily you can analyze it rather than issuing onto the any command prompt operations. Okay, here everything you can see into the GUI method, and you can rectify the problem at the earliest comparatively onto the command mode.
Okay, thank you, Mir. One more question, Mir, related to same. Suppose if database CPU consuming is nearly 100%, then how can we make use of OEM to troubleshoot this kind of issue?
So you can set a threshold, you can set a threshold in case if this is the percentage which has been reached. So give an alert where we can able to resolve that issues from our end. Okay, so OEM itself will not give any automation operation, right? So it's all depends on the server where it is getting the resources are getting allocated, and you have to analyze the server and resolve from our end itself.
Okay, Mir. Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you very much. If there's no questions, we'll close the call. Mir, Sayeed, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was nice talking to you. And thank you everyone for those who have joined this session. And glad to be a part of this South Africa Oracle user group team. And hopefully we will have the future sessions where we can able to discuss more onto the various other topics and have our conversation.
Okay. Thank you all. We'll close the session, and do enjoy your Christmas and your New Year from the South African Oracle user group. We'll see you back in February. Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you.
One last question.